Hey, what's up? Lassier, quick demo video for you for your Korbanth TFU2. This is the gold edition that you had me wrap with a brown leather wrap here. I'm pretty sure this is from Defcon Bird. Just got this done today, right? So wanted to go over this with you. It's installed with a Proffie V2. It's my own chassis design to accommodate a 28mm speaker, which you've got back here. You don't ever have to take it off like this. I'll take it off this one time to show you. But you've got a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker back here, and that stays in the pommel. And that speaker PCB that you see right there, that makes contact with those two pins right there. And that's how we power up the speaker. So we'll just throw that back on. It's a 2-button setup. So your top switch here, that'll be your activation, and then your bottom switch will be your auxiliary. I did put in a pixel accent on this chassis to light up this red jewel. You're not going to be able to see that probably, but if you look in there carefully, you can kind of see the pixel there. This is an all-in-one chassis. So the chassis, here, let me screw this on real quick so that I can pay attention to what I'm doing. The chassis goes all the way through this saber, all the way up to here. It is actually what's holding your CCSabers LED pixels in there. So there's no PCB holder, that's part of the chassis. That way I could utilize all of this blade depth and I didn't have to take anything away from that, okay? So I put everything in, slide the chassis on, and then the last thing that goes in was the switches, because I had to take those switch wires and snake them through and come to your board, which is right here. So what you wanna do is you just wanna unscrew this handle. This particular saber has a lot of threads, man. A lot. So, you know, it might take a minute to take the handle off, but that's okay. So we'll take the handle off, and here's your chassis, right? There's not a whole lot of room in this guy to do what I do as far as the removable battery, the board on top. It's just a very thin ID of this handle. The inner diameter of this handle doesn't leave a lot of room to play. So on this particular setup, I did adhese the board down. I did adhese the board down to the shelf of the chassis there, but you can take your SD card out and get to your micro USB without moving the board. And that's part of why I did that. And then another reason why is I don't want the board coming up and these solder joints making contact with the inside diameter of your handle because that'll fry your board. Right, so that board never needs to move and you can do everything you need to. Then removable battery down here. And you got your spring side as your negative right here. And then your speaker pogo pins right here. So the pixel for this red jewel here, it's just wired in line with your blade. Because of that red jewel, the light's always going to show up red no matter what color the pixel is. So it just makes more sense for me to just wire it in line with your blade and have the animations mimic your blade in that fashion. So let's put a battery in. Now when you put this in, you're obviously not going to hear anything because we don't have a speaker hooked up, right? So we'll throw this on. Almost there. So you do have motion controls. You got your LEDs firing up like they should. You can see that flicker in the red jewel there. That's mimicking the flicker of your unstable blade. You got twist off, or you can just tap activation. Auxiliary back here. Or you could tap it again and turn it off. Now you gave me 5 sound fonts to put on this guy, so they're all on here for you. To get to your soundtracks, we'll just hold the activation down for a second and then let go. Super loud, right? And then hold it for a second and let go again to turn them off. It's that easy. All right, so we'll throw a blade in this guy. I'm not going to use your blade retention either because this blade socket's kind of stiff. So you'll probably need to do some sanding on your blade. But when you do need to use your blade retention, it is located right here, right inside that circle there. Now on this emitter piece, this inside emitter piece. It's known on these sabers that this comes loose. What I did with yours is I just unscrewed it all the way. I put a little bit of glue on the threads and then I screwed it back down, and now it's super locked down. We're just tapping for blaster deflex, right? Now you've got battle modes. Easier to hit the hilt like that. So when you hit the blade, it's going to initiate blade lockup. You can see it right there, and it will stay like that until you pull away from it. And then we'll go to the next soundtrack.
I've been trained in your Jedi arts.
So you see how your jewel's always going to be red, even when the blade is yellow, right?
Rey Skywalker.
Scavenger's Destiny. This thing sounds really good. Unstable. You see a jewel. We'll cycle through these stock fonts. They all working good.
Smooth gray. Team C. Smooth.
We'll get back to the ones you had me put on there.
Team C. Smooth. I let you live.
TFU2. I try to give you a different unstable blade than the one that I gave you on the unstable sound font. I have your sensitivity bumped up to a 3.6. So when you go to turn this guy off, if you're going to use twist off, you know, you got to be kind of tough with it. And then this, I think, this is the one we started on, the Grievous. So on any of these, you can change the color. You've got color wheel. What you want to do is you hold down your auxiliary and tap your power. You'll hear this sound. That. Now you can twist the hilt and cycle through whatever color you want. Right? And then when we stop on something that we like, let's say like we like this green, do the same thing. Hold down your aux and tap your button or tap your power. You'll hear that power. Now that locked in your color. So now it's green. We'll do that again, right? Now we want it blue. Just like that. Now we got a blue. And then we'll take the blade out. And then to take your battery out, it's just the same thing that we did when we put it in. We'll just unscrew this. from the positive side and just pull it out with your finger, just like that. Now what you might find on this speaker, it doesn't tighten down super well, right? It twists on until it stops. If you find that this pommel becomes loose on you, because if it's on your saber and it becomes loose, you're going to lose speaker contact. It needs to be tight. That's how this chassis system is designed. If you find that happening, which it happened to me once during testing while I was making this video, or I'm happy to do it for you. We can just come in here with a little bit of E6000, put it on these threads, and then come in and lock it down, just like that, and then let it sit for a few minutes, and then it won't come back out. I don't like to lock these down for people unless they want me to, because I like for you to have access to this if you need it. But that is a simple solution if you find that this is coming unscrewed on you. Okay, so that is pretty much your saber. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, this will go out in the mail to you tomorrow. Thanks, man.